Okay, just sort of give you an update. This one eventually, I reckon, give it another 3 months and all this material here will have actually broken down and gone into the sand, and maybe that's when I'll turf out and turf it all out and look at the bottom piece. Has it gone grey at the bottom, down at the bottom of the pot down there? We turn it upside down, and whether the plants grow better with the soil from the bottom of the pot placed on the top, and whether it's grey or maybe even black or something like that. And we'll do some other tests like testing the pH and see if it's changed and things like that, and so on and so forth. Yeah, another one, something's eating it at night time, but at night time they don't eat during the day. Oh, this is the other thing I wanted to show you. This is this thing growing in charcoal. If I can get the bloody thing out. I don't think I can get the bloody thing out. If I push that back, no. It's just basically, no, I don't think I can get it out easily. Hang on, I might have to move this pot, which hasn't moved for a while. Don't like moving pots. Okay, so we get this one out here, and it's basically just charcoal in there. And I just think, look how well it's growing now. Eventually, it took time to get going, but yeah, I missed one of our CP weeds for just basically just charcoal. It's not too bad, I thought. Took it, as I said, some of these things they seem to take a time to get going. But talking about, and this one here, in sort of like semi, I wouldn't say it's semi-shade, but it's in the shade at the back there, sort of thing. Seems to be doing all right. Having said that, over the back here, have you noticed down there? I might probably have to go to spot culling on this. But yeah, if I can move it in there without getting my down in the back there, it seems to be growing quite well at the back in the, well, I wouldn't call it semi-shade. Would you call that? You can see sunlight on there. It's just in the back. And down here, I don't know if you can see that, but I thought we could actually have a play around with that. What's going on down there, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of stuff there. Charcoal. I thought of putting in some charcoal there to see how things go. I've got an idea now of how the charcoal. And you see some of these things in there are sort of, I have an idea now of what could be happening to the charcoal, how it could be disappearing in the environment. So I'm going to do some more basic tests and get an idea if there's what I'm trying to say, a connection, a generalistic pathway from going to charcoal to not having the charcoal there, sort of thing, and how it could benefit the plants growth-wise, sort of thing. So still having problems with this, it sort of greens up and disappears, blah blah blah. Yeah, I've got some more ideas now though. As I said, as things are starting to sort of, okay, if I can get the charcoal to start breaking down and disappearing, I think that's the end of the journey, sort of thing. Because they say, this is all the chemistry books say, you cannot break a reaction with a just pure carbon bond, sort of thing. They said there's a cobalt to carbon bond is in one of the vitamins, and that's the only known direct carbon to metal bond, I think they say. But what they say is things just can't attack pure carbon. And I'm thinking, well, I keep going out in the bush and the charcoal seems to be disappearing. So to me, it's bollocks. Complete bollocks, because you go out there year after year after a bushfire and you can watch the charcoal, as long as it's on the ground and it's damp and stays damp, which to me it sort of indicates there's some sort of biological reaction going on there, because you can't have life without water, sort of thing. So if it's damp and so forth, nothing much happening here. When you've got the old rhubarb, the one that actually went dormant, a lot of messing around even with that. So it's just, I think I'm just idling in a steady state at the moment. As I said, I'm going to look more deeply at charcoal, because to get just straight growth out of just charcoal like that, as it takes a while to get going, but when it gets going, it just seems like be perpetual sort of thing, which is a bit like terra preta in a way. I'm thinking, they talk about terra preta, a soil that can grow itself and just keep ticking over, sort of thing, almost like a perpetual motion sort of thing in a way. Probably with inputs from the sunlight in some manner, of course. But I'm thinking, okay, all the lines of research, there's something there, And I think slowly, tenuously, one small step at a time, we can slowly bring those things in. I don't know how it's going to culminate, but I think some people are going to be scratching their heads eventually and think, how the fuck does that work? And you're going to have to tenuously go in there and show this is, as I said, do some basic chemical experiments to say this is the possible pathway, how it actually works. It almost seems crazy, but... And then, of course, if you get extraordinary growth at the end of it, who's going to believe you? When you get plants growing really rapidly, very big, very fast, very colourful, and it's all based on something that almost seems very tenuous, almost this one step forward, two steps back, two steps forward, one step back sort of thing. And I suppose it's the person who actually gets it over the line, gets it working, is what it's all about. There's no kudos, no prizes for anyone who just keeps having a go. It's not getting up it's not getting up and going to the coal forest every day that counts. It's finding that bit of cobalt there. And that's the thing. Going to the coal forest every single day. Waiting outside that cave for the bear to appear is one thing, but why don't you get a bloody torch? Go into that cave and find out, one, is there a bear in the cave, and two, lasso that bear and pull it out of the cave. I think rather than just going to the coal face every single day or going to the entrance of the cave and just sort of waiting, isn't it better to just get a torch, set of batteries, whatever in the modern age, and just go into that cave, with your ball or whatever, make sure you don't get lost, and drag that bloody bear out. If there is one in there, you might find it's not a bear, it's something else in there that no one thought about. A minotaur. Minotaur, is that what geez, that's so long ago. Okay, so making some very small, minor, meagre observations here that, you can see on this side. A lot of stuff happen there, even though you can see there's shafts of bright sunlight hitting the thing on the back. Is it temperature rather than light? Is it the sunlight going through there, or is it just the sunlight plus coolness? As I said, I did a lot of experiments years ago about trying to get high humidity, bright light and a cool temperature, and as I said, I only got 2 out of 3 in a greenhouse I built. But as I said, keep coming back to these sort of things. There's something there. So I'll keep plugging away, and all these tenuous, disparate lines of avenues of research, in quotes, if you want to call it that. As I keep going back to the coalface all the time, you just accumulate enough sort of angst to say, I'm pretty sure there's a bear in there. I'm going to get some bloody batteries. They may be expensive batteries. I'm going to save up to them, and I'm going to get my bloody big fat torch, and we're going to go in that fucking cave, and we're going to find out whether there is a bear in there or something else, and we're going to drag it out into the light so everyone can see the bloody thing. I think that's what it is, and it's the person that does that, the one that gets it over the line, is the one that ends up doing it. So and then you change, and then you bring basically the future into the present, and forever change the future, because you brought the future into and of course the irony is, if someone had actually done the same things that you'd done 100 years before, you could have had it 100 years ago. It's like the Dark Ages. We could have had Mozart on CD, in quotes, if we didn't have the Dark Ages, because Mozart wouldn't have been. All the genes would be totally different, of course. Will there be another Mozart? Oh, jeez. What did Haydn say? Another 100 years? He could have said 1,000, as some people say. Anyway, that's just a wrap up at the moment, and I'll keep plugging away. But I've got an idea now of what could be happening with the charcoal. Before, I just had no idea, no possible explanation of how you could actually lose pure carbon into the environment, sort of thing. It's just strange. I mean, look at this one here with the salt. Remember that one? It's still chugging it away, and I'm thinking, yeah, there's definitely something there, There's something to sort, and I think I might be able to put it all together. So, slowly but surely, one step at a time, I think we're going to get there. But, I don't think it's going to be until the middle of next year, I reckon. Got to do some basic, what do you call those experiments where you do the basic, not the seamy ones, you get the scalars, you get the amounts of things. I've got to do a few more of those, where find out where the boundaries are. A few more of those, how far you can go, where the limit is, and okay, that's how much we got to put in there. How much do we have to put into a bucket to get it to work, sort of thing, and not waste anything. Basically. Okay, over and out for now. See ya.